Hello and welcome to episode 5 of my podcast. Um, okay. My podcast today is about being rooted in being present, in living in the present moment, in just being, not doing, but just being, and just existing, and just everything that is in the now is enough. That state of living while also achieving your dreams, like doing, like taking the steps necessary to build the life that you want, and that alam mo, it's something in the future. And so I want to talk about the balance between being here now but also having the ambition to want a better life. Kasi if we, I mean, all our life, society, I mean, the people around us, like just everyone, I mean, has been thinking, okay, we need to build a better life. We need to work for a future. Alam mo yun? And then everyone is just waiting for that to happen. To have the car, the house, the money, the prestige, the achievement. Alam mo yun, we've all been waiting for that. And I mean, we are so good at preparing to live in the future, but we most often we neglect how to live in the now, you know? And so um so I've realized something. I've unlocked something inside of me. Now I've uncovered this fear in me. Kasi how it started is um I gave up on working a 9 to 5 job because firstly, my mental health wouldn't allow me to work a 9 to 5 job, and the existential crisis that came with it, na is this the life that I want to live, na I feel like a slave, alam mo yun, feeling ko alipin ako ng salapi na is this really how to live a life? So I gave up on that because I didn't like feeling free. I didn't like I didn't like feeling na I'm just waiting for the weekend to happen, and then those are just the only times that I really get to live my life. And I wasn't in a good place when I was working my 9 to 5 job. And every time my job ended and then I transferred to another, like the same job, I was in a call center. It always ended with burnt, being burnt out and depression. And ayun, I just didn't, I wasn't, just wasn't in a good place. And then the pandemic happened. It forced me to just stay at home. And alam mo na, I even had the reason na, okay, no more work, okay, like, uh, and then I took that time to be, just live my life without a purpose. And at first, it made me depressed. Na I feel like they didn't have any purpose anymore. And then, so yeah, my spiritual awakening happened, and then I had to come face to face with um unlearning what society taught us, na we should be this, we should be that. Now we should always um have value in society, have achievement, have alam mo yun, have this what the commercials have been selling us na a happy life, a good life, ganyan. Like, parang um, kasi it's basically capitalism eh, na, alam mo yun, na it's profitable to make people happy. Ayun. I don't know, I think like I'm rambling on and I'm going out of topic. And so there's just to come back to what I've been saying, na ayun nga, um, um, na I've come face to face with just being here now, and I had to learn na it's okay. It's okay to just live your life. Na it's okay to pause. It's okay to just exist. It's okay to just, for instance, enjoy a silent morning. Just in that moment, you're just drinking your coffee, you're just drinking your tea, and you're just looking out at the sky, watching some birds. And in that moment, if you're just in that, you're not thinking about work later, what you have to do tomorrow. If you just let go of that worries na, kasi we're always thinking ahead eh. And we can't stay here in the present moment. And so during that moment, you have no other thought but just enjoying your cup of coffee, your cup of tea. And in that moment, it feels infinite. It feels such a long time because you're not being dragged away by future concerns. You know? Because we are always being dragged by the future. Eh. And so when we get to what we always wanted to get to, it doesn't feel like we feel empty. Like for example, if we always wanted this achievement to happen and then it happens and then we feel empty. I think because we're in the habit of always looking to the future, of always finding that something, that contentment in the future. Now, if only we can have this, if only I can have that, I will be okay. And then that habit na we can't stay, we don't know how to be in the present. And so I first had to be rooted in that. And I did a lot of that in the past few years since the pandemic. And I've learned how to be patient with the pace of my life because I'm a full-time artist, and in all honesty, I'm struggling financially, and I've learned how to just enjoy the process. I'm I see myself as a successful artist just because I can do art, just because I can enjoy doing art, and I can connect with the art community, and that is enough. That is enough. And but also at the same time, um of course, practically speaking, I still need to be financially independent, and that's something na it seems like I've buried with all the times that I've told myself that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to just take things gently and very, very slowly as humanly possible. And I've been feeling guilty about that. I've been telling myself that, and then I feel like I'm still nowhere. But also, it's not really a bad thing because um I needed that. I needed to be rooted in that, and then I just trusted in that. I feel like it's feeling like the universe, God, has put me in that place, in that time of my life where it's just what I needed to just slow down. And I just followed and trusted my intuition. Now, okay, this is a time for me to slow down. And then I just trusted that process. And then just a few days ago, I read something in a book. I read something on my social media feed that gave way, that gave me these timely messages. And then somehow, with just my trust in the universe, it's like that fear, like a flower, like a dark looking flower that is the symbol of my fear, just blossomed. And then I understood in myself that, wow, okay, this is my fear. I really have a fear of, kasi, of doing things, of just achieving things. Because still have that trauma from when I worked my 9 to 5 job. And so what I saw was, while my slowing down is a good thing and an important thing in my life, it was also a mask of that fear of just doing things, of chasing my dreams, of just, I mean, building the life that I want. Why was I so afraid of that? Why was I afraid of chasing my dreams? And I think because I have villainized it, na I have, it's like I didn't have the balance. Na okay, I've been telling myself na it's okay, na I can just have this life right now and it's enough and it's okay. But does it mean na I won't do anything na? I won't do anything, achieve my dreams, chase my ambitions. And so unconsciously it felt like that, na I've I feel like I've grown complacent, and because of my fear. And uh, my slowing down is also a form of my procrastination, because just doing the things that I want, like this podcast and all my art projects, all my art ideas that I've just written down, it just, I don't know, it feels painful to do them somehow. And procrastinating is a form of just relieving myself of that pain. Like, let's do it later na lang kasi it's so painful. And I have to soothe myself. Like, I have to scroll on my phone muna. I have to do something else before doing the actual thing that I want to do. And so, yeah, and so just that balance of um being so rooted in the here and now. And then what I read from this book is that when you are rooted in the here and now and you let go of your identification with your mind, because all of us, all of our life, we've been identified with our minds, eh, na we are not our thoughts, diba? Like parang our minds has been so noisy all of our life, and every anxious thought just pulls us whenever it comes, and it feels like we don't have control when they come. They just pull us whenever. And then what I learned is to let go of of the mind, because the mind is a tool. It's useful for problem solving, but also the mind is a brilliant servant but a poor master, because the mind is just a tool. There are instances where using the mind too much is harmful. Like the mind is just something that you use. And so what I read in this book that I'm reading, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, is that beneath the mind is just the stillness. Just there is this inner peace beneath it, and there is no thought in that state. Just no thoughts. Like, have you experienced that? Like, for example, when you see a beautiful view, like in that instant, like for just a few seconds, you didn't have any thought. That's why, you know, people, um, even people in when they experience near death experiences, and so like the mind just fades and just shuts up in that moment because it's so great. And that is why people express that they find God when they see like something beautiful, like a beautiful view, or like in near death experiences. And so because underneath that is a greater intelligence inside that is inside of us. And you know how when um you do art, for artists out there, um and you rack your brain with coming up with something to draw, and then you just can't, and nothing is coming, and like you're just pinipiga mo na yung utak mo, and you're just racking your brain, and nothing is coming. But when you just stop thinking, you just stop trying too hard, you just go out for a walk, you drink some water, you try to relax, and then once your mind has refreshed, and then you just let the ideas just come to you, right? We we don't really have ideas. Ideas have us. And being creative is just the simple act of being an antenna for the ideas to come. This is why um when you have an idea and then you didn't execute it, you didn't write it down or anything, and then someone else did it. That is why these ideas are just floating around. And then you just have to put yourself in a space where you can receive those ideas. And part of that is like what I said, like just taking for a walk, being able to clear your mind and being able to relax and being able to let go of overthinking. And so um that's also important that you're able to just pause and be still and just find that inner peace. And so that there is this greater intelligence beneath us. And so that's why also when you have to solve a problem, if you think of it and think of it too much, and then it seems like there's no solution, and then you're just thinking it over and over, and then like until it reaches a point that it's overthinking, you're already ruminating. But then a technique to it is just stop thinking about it altogether. Do something else. Have a healthy outlet, have a healthy distraction. And then once your mind has relaxed, and then when you resume thinking, your thinking will now come from a place inside of you, from that place of this inner peace that is always inside of us. There, it can come from a different place, from that inner peace, from that inner creativity. And so, ayun. Um, where was I? How am I gonna wrap this up? um, and so, yeah, the coming going back to um the main point of what I'm saying is that um Just um yun, I remember now. Um because for the longest time I've had this fear of just doing, and then I had this abundance of just being, just existing, just being here now, just being present. I had so much of that, and then I didn't balance it with doing, with just taking the steps necessary to build the life that I want. And so now that I have planted all those seeds of just being still and as graceful as I can with myself, it feels like I gave space for this fear to come up out of me. And now I see it so clearly in the light of day. And there it is. I can see the fear, and I feel like I have the strength and the will to just cross over that fear, because everything is everything worth having, everything good is on the other side of our fear. And our fear is an is usually an invitation to do that something. Na if I'm afraid to do this podcast, like I've been procrastinating a little. Before I did this, I was scrolling on my phone. Okay, I need to eat. Okay, I need to solve this little problem with my Gcash something, and then okay, and then I just had to sit. I knew I had to just um get over that fear and not let it win like I have always had in the past. And now because it's so clear to me, I can see it for what it is. I can finally um I can finally touch it. I can finally just go over it. Because like you just finally just pass through it. Like this, like my fear is a door. And then like before I didn't see this door, and like it was away from me, and like it was so dark. But the sphere is just, it doesn't have like it's been open all the time. It wasn't locked. It was just in the dark. And then now that I have shined a light over it, I can see that it's not locked at all. I can just open it. And then here I am doing just that. And then I'm opening this door, and like there's so many doors uh, of of it. Like I have to overcome still these little fears of mine of just doing, and I'm just opening it. I'm just opening it and opening it, and then while also I feel like I'm going into another chapter in my life where I'm going to just do a lot, but also when I say I will do a lot, I'm already thinking that it's spaced out in a month. For example, it's spaced out like I will do. Like I would just do it very slowly. It's far in between the things that I will do because will I prioritize the rest. I prioritize resting, and because rest is productive. It's also part of it. And um just now I feel like I will um go into this chapter doing these things, and then I'm so grateful na I'm already rooted in being present, in being in making the life that I have now enough that it's now my compass. Now when I go to this wild new place of doing things, I now have that with me always. And because in the past I tried to navigate that place and then I got lost, I got burnt out, I got so tired and depressed, and um the existential crisis is what was creeping in, because and then it's like I I was finding meaning with doing things, with achieving things, but also we can find there, but also the only life that we have kasi is here right now. All the planning will always happen here in the here and now. And so I have that wisdom with me as I go through this new chapter in my life. And it's like I've gone full circle, except now that I have this light within me. It's like I have this lamp, and the lamp is the wisdom of just learning how to pause, how to go slowly, and then like it's just I can see it now, the beautiful balance of just being and then doing, and then being and then doing, and then when I feel like I'm getting lost in doing, I have this being that I can lean on, because in our hyper fast society, it feels like we don't have, like most people don't have that to lean on. Na they would call it God, 'di ba? Na after all that doing, after all these earthly things, what comes after? What comes after next? I think that's really how existential crises start, and just beneath that, even if you're not religious or spiritual, just the there is this inner peace beneath the workings of the mind, and just being able to pause is really important, and is because if we're always working for a future, how do we can't stop. We're always going, we're always doing something, we're always moving incessantly to the point of burnout. And then because it's been taught in the East, like in Eastern cultures, now purposelessness is good, and that purposelessness is um purposelessness and purpose are two sides of the same coin. Na while it's good to have purpose, na what's your mission in life, like whatever it is, it's not bad. Also, it's okay to have no purpose. Na in Eastern cultures, it's been taught na human beings are alive just as a flower is alive, just as a plant is alive. It's just alive, you know? It's not doing anything besides growing, right? And like and then in Western cultures, we've been taught na we should always strive for something. We should always contribute something. We should always do, you know? And then but it's okay. It's okay to just exist and do. There just needs to be balance. And so, yeah, and I'm just really proud of myself for wow, I feel like I really like my intentions. I can see now that wow, I've intended this like years ago. And then now I'm seeing na oh wow, like I've set myself on this path. And then like there are times na I forget because of life's challenges, because of all the pain and the mental illness I've been experiencing, and then it's so good to be reminded na okay, I've set myself on this kind of path where it's slow and it's easy and it's peaceful, and then here I am na I got here to this realization, and I'm pleasantly surprised na okay, wow, na yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end my podcast here, and yeah, it's okay to just be here now. Just be here now, and just it's okay to exist, to just survive if that's what you're doing, and just living your life like as a human being on this earth, and just it's okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.